Babyface was an intriguing 1933 movie starring Barbara Stanwyck and Donald Cook. This was a type of film that I think really defines the pre-code era. You know, Hollywood got away with some strange and risque stuff before the code, and I'll probably talk about that more in another video, but for now I'm just going to kind of give a quick rundown of what this film is about. So, most of the films I review on my channel, they tend to be pretty tame and clean. And when I watch films from the 1930s, that's generally the case. They're mostly wholesome, mostly innocent, a couple gunfights and stuff. And the thing about Babyface is this film has absolutely no profanity, no violence, no graphic adult content. But the film itself is the story of a young woman who, following her father's death, heads to New York City and basically uses her beauty and her looks to seduce her way through one successful businessman after another in order to gain money, success, and power. I mean, yeah, that was the entire gist of the film. Again, it's not one I would recommend for family viewing considering the subject matter, and yet there's really nothing directly shown on the screen at all. Everything is completely implied. And you never see anything bad, but as you're watching it, you know exactly what's going on. And, this film could get away with the PG rating. Barbara Stanwyck is a beautiful and intelligent actress, and she really does an amazing job here as this character who is basically just manipulating men, going from one to another, to another, to another. And again, this is a classic example of a controversial pre-code film. And this was definitely from an era when Hollywood would occasionally surprise you with the content of the films. And while I can't necessarily say that this is one everyone should check out, if you are interested in understanding what type of films were created pre-code, this would be a prime example of one that took on a very controversial subject. And I'll say it was cool to see Donald Cook in this movie, who I recently saw in Public Enemy with James Cagney. And it was also surprising to see a very brief appearance by a very young John Wayne. Normally you see him as the cowboy and the outlaw, and here he's just a young guy working in a business setting. So that was really interesting. So that's Babyface. That's from 1933, stars Barbara Stanwyck. And again, just be aware of what the subject matter is. But if you want to get an understanding of some of the more unusual and interesting pre-code films of the 1930s, this would be one to see.